Wow. Wow. What is going on, everybody? Blessings to all of you in the name of Yeshua, Jesus, our Messiah and our God. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Monday. And I have to be honest with you guys. I woke up and I was extremely surprised to see this pump. And I'm sure that there are some various reasons as to why. We will get into that in this live stream. Shout out to everybody who is in the chat. Guys, I appreciate all of you for being here. Patrick, my man, John, Jad18, Mega Skaters, yo! Broke Forever, what is going on? Shout out to all you guys. Yo, FOMO into the like button, y'all. Let's see if we can get some traction on this live stream, even though every other crypto YouTube channel in the world is live streaming and they're all much more popular than I am. Yeah, shout out to Chris Laws, who got in the pump using the 4-hour, 24-minute strategy. Shout out to everybody who got into this trade here using one of the strategies that I talk about. Honestly, guys, there were you could have had a lot of interesting entries here. Using the Crosswalk Strategy, you could have gotten in a really nice entry right around here. This is actually the 24-minute chart. So honestly, I don't know how. I guess if you were waiting for this 4-hour to print and then you saw the money flow crossover, you could get right in. Personally, guys, I did not get into this trade. But here's what I want to talk about. If you're like me and you did not get into this trade, I want to talk about how we can make a plan moving forward, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to FOMO in up here when we're getting downward momentum on the 24-minute time frame. Even if we come to the 1 hour, we can see things might start to be curving over. What we want to do is we want to look for a good entry. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're trading what the charts are telling us to trade, right? We don't want to trade based on emotion. And right now we can see that we came to a resistance level, right? We got this pump. We broke up above this daily support. We broke up above this weekly support. And now we are getting a rejection off of this support level right here. And what we need to do now is we just need to wait and see what is going to happen. If we take a look at the 4-hour time frame and we look at Market Cipher B, we can see that we have a lot of momentum upwards. Obviously, we just had this huge candle. We have a lot of separation between these two waves right here, between the light blue and the dark blue. The VWAP is pointed upward in a very poignant angle, shall we say. And so what we need to do now, if we did not get into this trade, is just look for an entry. Look for an entry and see what price is going to do. Okay, see what price is going to do. Now, a lot of people are saying that the reason this pump happened is because of this Visa news, which Visa is now allowing people to get rewards in cryptocurrency. They're going to allow payment settlements using cryptocurrency. And yeah, this could have been the catalyst for this huge pump. And really, when I say huge pump, guys, in the big scheme of things, this is not really a huge pump. If we just zoom out of the chart a little bit, we can see that, in the big scheme of Bitcoin price action, this is not necessarily a huge pump. However, this is a significant piece of price action right here, because I would say that this really, if we were tracking this downtrend here where we were printing lower highs, now it seems that we have put in, you could have said right here this was kind of an indecision area, right? We came up to that resistance and started to come lower, but now you could say that we've officially put in a higher high. Now, personally, I'm a little bit wary of this just because whenever we get these huge FOMO news price pumps, they usually come back down a little bit. And honestly, guys, I mean, obviously, we can't know for sure what's going to happen in the future, but I would just be wary, especially if you're looking to get in now after this pump already happened, just wait for things to settle down a little bit. Wait for you to get confirmations according to your trading strategy before you enter a trade. And that's what I'm going to go over a little bit in this video. And I am currently drinking black coffee. And guys, my friends own this coffee roasting company, Peregrine Coffee. If you guys want some really good coffee, check these guys out. Seriously. I just got a whole bunch. It's great stuff. It's great stuff. All right, let's get into the chat. Shout out to everybody in here. Appreciate all of you. Okay. Let's see who we got in here. E.E. Davalia, happy Monday. Sean Poole missed it. Don't worry, Sean. We are going to, there's going to be plenty of opportunity to trade. Trust me, especially in this month. Chris Loss, he saw the money flow crossover, exited just before the red dot printed on the 24, looking to re-enter when I get better signals. Chris Loss, you're the man, bro. And that's exactly what you need to do. Chris Loss in the chat, everybody. This guy, he's got the 4-hour, 24-minute strategy down. Super Googly is in a 3x long from 57, sat all the way down to 51K and back up. He's in profit now, but is not taking profit until 70K. Hey, man, I cannot tell you what to do. Do I think Bitcoin is going to 70K? Yes. Yes, I do. Do I know when? No. No, I do not. So I'm really not a fan of just holding trades without getting confirmations telling me which way it is going to go. And right now, we're kind of at a point. If we take a look at the 4-hour, let's just take a look at the 4-hour here. We're at a very critical point right here, okay, where the moving averages are starting to cross, okay? And I've been talking about this for a while, where what are we looking for when we're really looking for price to get to those high levels. Hang on, let me clean up some of these charts here. Sorry, guys. Bear with me just one moment. Okay, let me clean up this chart here. Let me remove the drawings. Let me put on just 2 moving averages. In fact, yeah, let me just put on the regular EMA. We've been looking at these 2 exponential moving averages to kind of gauge when we can expect, a nice move to the upside. And I'm going to make the 21 blue, and I'm going to make the 55 purple. And we're just going to do some analysis here. We're just going to do some analysis. And actually, guys, something very significant literally just happened just now, which is the moving averages have crossed, okay? They have officially crossed over. The 21 has crossed above the 55 EMA right here. This literally just confirmed just now, like 2 minutes ago. And we've been looking historically saying when these cross, right? When they cross over and Market Cipher is also giving us a bullish signal, it indicates that we are going to be moving into a long-term uptrend, okay? So that happened to us back here, where these moving averages crossed, the blue came above the purple. We got this huge run to the upside. That happened right here, where the blue crossed above the purple, and we got a huge move to the upside. Now, right here, this is happening again. The blue is crossing over the purple, and it's very possible, and I believe so, that we are about to get a huge move to the upside. So it's not necessarily a bad time to be holding a long if you're in from 53K. But, before I officially enter a swing trade where I'm holding it for quite some time, what I really want to see is I want to see some kind of like a retest of these exponential moving averages. And really, guys, when we take a look, if this wave is really coming, it's going to come up to the top like this. I would prefer to enter when the 4 hour cools off a little bit, and we get a trigger wave in here, and then we can enter using the 4 hour 24-minute strategy or something like that before, because I don't want to long at the top. But here's the thing. Right now things are looking pretty pumpalicious, and let's take a look at our 24-minute time frame. I mean, here's, if you guys are looking for a long entry, if this pump is going to continue, then we would want to see the 24-minute print some kind of, green trigger wave where we see this clear direction, right? We see this clear direction, the money flow cross. If the 4 hour stays this strong, which it may not, but it might, we would want to enter when the 24-minute gives us some kind of a trigger wave, some kind of signal that there's more upward momentum coming. Let's get back to the chat here. Shout out to Robert Price, who listened to my course this weekend. Good content. Yeah, guys, if you're interested in a trading course, I do have one. Pretty much goes over everything from A to Z. So if you're interested in that, there's information in the description of this video. Shout out to Andrew Sykes. Yeah, Crypto Face is always awake, and he can get in those pumps. Yeah, doesn't sleep. Sean Poole, I'm gonna do whatever you say to do. LOL, my nerves say act now, but I'm not going to. Yeah, shout out to Jack Kennedy, who just bought the course. Yeah, guys, let's do some top-down analysis, okay? And see if we can set some targets and really find a good entry. Because here's the thing. There's always going to be an opportunity to enter a good trade, right? The market is always going to be here tomorrow. And after every pump, right, it's not going to go up forever. We are going to find some kind of good entry. If the upward movement is going to continue, we are going to be able to find a really good entry. So let's go to our daily time frame, and let's just do some basic top-down analysis. Let's mark out some of our daily support and resistance levels. Daily time frame is looking super bullish right now. I mean, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. Really, right now for me, it's just about finding a good entry, because I don't want to enter just because we had some news, right? I don't want to enter just because we had this random Visa pump or whatever it is. I want to make sure that the chart is telling me to enter a trade. And right now I'm talking about entering a swing long, because I'm expecting to enter a swing long position and hold that throughout the majority of the month of April. I want to ride it up to 70K and beyond. So let's mark out some of our support and resistance levels on the daily time frame, okay? So we have one right here. And I'm sure most people watching this video are familiar with what I'm doing here, but if somebody's not, basically what I'm doing is I'm marking out areas of liquidity where price will tend to retrace to, and the way I'm doing that is I'm looking to the left of the chart, and I'm finding areas where price has found a sticking point historically, and the reason we're doing that is because price will retrace back to those areas where it has found a sticking point in the past. And would you know it, but this previous all-time high back on February 21st is exactly the level that this pump reached to before it found a sticking point. And that's just kind of the way the Bitcoin, and not just Bitcoin, but a lot of different assets will work. So these are our daily levels. These are levels of daily support and resistance. And what we want to do is we want to watch price very carefully when it gets to these levels, okay? Because whenever price gets to one of these levels, it's probably going to have some kind of a reaction. It's going to have some kind of a reaction. Are we going to break above this resistance, which would be a very bullish move? And if we do break above this resistance, well, then the next stopping point is like 61K. Or are we going to get rejected off of this and come back down to the 55 level, or get rejected from here as well and break through that and come back down to the $51,000 level? This is why we mark these levels out on the chart, because if we have these levels and we combine this with using moving averages and we combine this with using Market Cipher, it will ensure that we get those really great entries. Because here's the thing, if we are about to break above this level of resistance and confirm above it, and Market Cipher is giving us confirmation that we're going to keep going higher, this gives us an amazing entry, because we can put our stop loss right here below the support, because we know this is like a checkpoint, right? This is a checkpoint. If we confirm above this level, this is telling, price, this is now the floor. This line is now the floor. Price is not going to come back down below here. And if it does, then we need to get out of that long trade anyway. So this is a great stop loss position right here, because it allows us to enter in an area where we're risking very little in order to gain very much, right? Where if we enter our long position right here, right? Let's say we confirm above here and we're getting more upward momentum on Market Cipher. We can put our stop loss down below here, and we're only risking maybe, 0.65%, and we can set our take profit all the way up here, and we are getting a really nice risk to reward ratio where we're potentially going to earn 7.25 times more than we are risking. We don't just want to enter a trade in the middle of no man's land, because that will it doesn't allow us to practice very good risk management, right? And just keeping my eye on the 24-minute time frame, guys, it looks like we're about to get a nice crossover here. In fact, this is looking very nice, very nice. Let's go down to the 12-minute. We've already got this confirmation here on the 12-minute. So, yeah, I might actually enter a small position here to see what happens. I'm really looking for the 24-minute to confirm, guys. For me, the 4-hour and the 24-minute, they work together very synergistically. Where historically we know if we get a green trigger wave forming on the 4-hour, like we have right here, then on the 24-minute, we're looking for either a green trigger wave or a money flow crossover. Now the problem is, guys, once we get momentum this high on the 24-minute, we know that these pumps are not going to be as significant usually as if we can catch it, down in this area. And a lot of times, if we have a major pump like this, okay, the second pump is not as powerful, but you can still get a nice move there. And, also just superficially looking at this, you could say that this is kind of like a bull flag right here. Where now we're breaking out of it. But really what's key, guys, in my mind here is this resistance level, because this is a daily resistance level. And, we had this huge run up, and then we have coming down a little bit, bouncing off this support. If we can break above this resistance and we're getting momentum on the 24-minute and the 4-hour is still looking extremely bullish, then yeah, I would enter a position right here, and what I do is I take it up when I'm entering these shorter term trades. I just go level to level. And so, I would set my next take profit at like the 59K level, and then if we break that, obviously the 60K level. But this will allow us to set a really nice stop loss, again, because this is the same thing just on a lower time frame. If if we can confirm over this and Market Cipher is also giving us momentum, then we know, okay, we're expecting price to come up and hit this level. If it comes back down below this support, well, my trade idea is invalidated because I'm expecting the uptrend to continue. And if this resistance really gets flipped into support and is acting as support, then I should expect that the price will not come below this level. And if it does, then my trade is invalidated. And so let's just wait and see what happens here. Let's wait and see what happens. Guys, make sure to FOMO into the like button because as you can see, the Jason Casper like button is trading on Bybit. You can trade this with leverage up to 1,000,000x leverage. And what's really nice about this is the price never comes down. It just continually goes up always. And so if you like this video, you will get a huge return on your investment. If you like this video with leverage, I guarantee you are going to be one of those Jason Casper like button millionaires driving around in your Ferrari, in your Lambo, simply because you like this video. It's a great investment. And I usually don't give financial advice, y'all, but if I did have to give financial advice, it would be to like this video. Yeah, look at this, guys. It's actually pretty phenomenal how these daily levels, right? Look at this. Look at how respected these levels are. And that's why it's so important to mark these out on your chart before you enter a trade, because these are the checkpoints. These are the checkpoints. When price gets to these levels, you look at Market Cipher, you say what is going to happen, and these allow for those golden entries. If you combine this with the 4-hour, 24-minute strategy, you're golden. And if anybody is not familiar with that strategy, just come to my channel, check out Market Cipher tutorials.
High winning trade.
And right here, 4-hour, 24-minute Market Cipher trading strategy. This is a great strategy, guys. The trades don't come up every day, but when they come up, I mean they're good. They are good. And I'm not like bragging about this, right? This is just something I discovered. I back tested it all the way back to 2019, and it's nice. It's nice. So let's get into the chat, guys. Shout out to all 473 who are in this video, and all 400 of you, all 300 of you who did not like the video. Shout out to y'all guys too. If you don't like it, that's fine. Yeah, how about the CME gap? Right, that's the thing, guys. That is the thing. See, that's why I'm not FOMOing in because of the Visa news. I want to wait until I have my confirmations. Let's just sit back and relax and wait until we have confirmation before we enter into a trade. Because last night, Pretty Gay asks, is the CMA gap null and void at this point? Well, last night I made a little video update where I was actually expecting that gap to close because that's usually what happens. But then we got this crazy news, and we were also trading in, let me see if I can pull this up here, but we were trading in, let me zoom out. We were trading in this channel, this downward channel, and we were, at the time I made the update last night, we were rejecting off a daily resistance level and rejecting off the top of this channel, and it looked like we were going to come down and close the gap. But then we get this news that kind of pumps the price, and it might not have been the news, guys. Obviously there was a lot of, we just had a money flow crossover on the 4-hour, so this is something to be expected. But what I was expecting was something more like this, where we were going to come down a little bit more on the 4-hour and get a nice tight trigger wave right here, which would have launched us off into the stratosphere, as if Elon Musk had just tweeted. But that's not what happened. And so we just need to keep in mind the fact that, the CME futures gap is still a thing. And let's not just enter a trade based on something that Visa said. I mean, especially not right now. We definitely might have some more upward movement, but we are, struggling a little bit at this resistance. And I really want to see, what is going to happen in the next few hours, because the VWAP is starting to look like, perhaps this might cross back down again. And we're high, right? We're high right now on the 4 hour. We're coming up above this 60 line, which historically is not the best time to enter a long position, just because that's usually when we start to cross back over. It could be a very good time to start looking for a long position, though. And that's why we use our 2 time frames, right? That's why we use the 4 hour and the 24 minute. Let me actually take a look at the 24 minute on here and see if we can see any good things happening. Yeah, it looks like we're really about to get another crossover on the 24 minute where we print a green trigger wave, which might not be a bad time to enter a small position. But do keep in mind, guys, that the majority of this move, this pump, I feel has already happened. I could be wrong. But when we're doing the 4 hour 24 minute strategy, it's always best if we can get in when this dot is fresh, right? As soon as it is printing or right after it confirms. And also on the 24 minute, it's great if things are fresh. If we can get a fresh trigger wave below the 0 line or a fresh money flow cross, that is when we are going to get those best entries. Okay, if we're waiting until things are a little bit overbought and overextended, I'm not saying you still can't get in on a good trade, but just historically, it's not the best entry. But 4 hour is looking strong, guys. 4 hour is looking strong. Let's see if we have any questions in the chat. Shout out to Nick, who's tuning in from New Zealand. Ricardo says, I think if it crosses back down, it will just charge us straight into the pump. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree that, if momentum comes back down, it would really charge us into a pump. And here's why. First of all, the daily time frame, extremely bullish, right? Every time we have one of these green trigger or green waves printing below the 0 line on the daily, that means we're going to get a huge pump, right? That's exactly what happened right here. And we got a huge pump. It took us right from one daily to another daily. Back here, we had one on March 2nd. We had this nice pump. We had one right here on January 28th, and we got this huge pump. We had one back here on December 13th. We got this huge pump. We had one back here on October 6th. We had a huge pump. So the daily is looking extremely bullish in my mind right now. And then on the 4 hour, we have the moving averages have just crossed over. Okay, so honestly, yeah, this is looking bullish. The only thing that makes me concerned is the CMA gap and the fact that this pump here is speculative only because of the Visa news. But other than that, this is looking extremely bullish. And so now I'm just waiting for confirmation to enter a nice swing long position. I would love to see on the 4 hour price come down a little bit and give us like a nice, it would be so nice if we could just get a juicy green trigger wave down here and enter on the 4 hour 24 minute kind of strategy. I wish I had entered here, obviously, because really for swing trades, typically I would wait for the daily to print a green dot and then enter when the 4-hour prints a green dot as well. So, yeah, definitely looking for an entry. Definitely looking for an entry. So once we have our levels marked, and once we have our moving averages and everything on the chart, then it's really just about taking our basic TA, looking at Market Cipher, and finding a good entry. And if you're looking for a shorter term trade, obviously you're going to be using, you know, the 4-hour and the 24-minute in conjunction with one another, or whatever strategy you're using. You know, you're obviously going to be using a lower time frame if you're looking for a shorter term trade. If you're looking to hold a longer swing, then for sure, you know, the daily and the 4-hour are great choices. Yeah, Rico brings up a very good point. The pump has nothing to do with Visa. It broke the overall diagonal resistance. Ignore Visa, it would have pumped it. Right. And I agree. I agree with that. And that's why I brought up the fact that we were trading in this channel and we broke out of the channel. But a lot of times what happens is the news will come out and will cause a lot of FOMO. It will cause a lot of FOMO. It will cause people who would not have been buying to buy. And sometimes it can make for not the best entry if you've missed the initial breakout. Because this was, you know, a very typical, perfect breakout, textbook. We have a daily resistance level, and we have this diagonal resistance level, and we broke out of that. And now we're just pausing a little bit at this resistance. But yeah, shout out to Rico. Yeah, I'm waiting for the price to come down and confirm the next wave because I don't want to buy into the pump. Andrew wants to know if my strategy works with alts. I have a video about trading altcoins with Market Cipher. If you come into the Market Cipher playlist right here, how to trade altcoins with Market Cipher. This is a live stream, but in this live stream I go over step by step how to create your own trading strategy. And for different asset pairs. And I think this would be beneficial for anybody who's newer to Market Cipher, who feels a little bit overwhelmed with how to really hone down and know what to look for. This will help you out. Yeah, the CMA gap was super small this week, and it opened 14 hours ago. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always have to close. It does not. So here's the thing with me, when it comes to the CME futures gap, when it comes to Visa news, when it comes to all of these things, I don't put as much emphasis on them. But really what I do is I just look at the chart and try and find those good entries. And I do keep those other things in the back of my mind. I just keep them in the back of my mind as I am analyzing the chart. Shout out to all 562 people in here. Guys, we have 500 viewers and only 200 likes. I mean, have you seen the like button chart for the Jason Casper like button? It is going parabolic. If you don't FOMO into the like button right now, you are definitely not going to find a good entry. You are definitely not going to find a good entry. Cool. Well, here we are, guys. I believe we are at the start of a very bullish month of April. And I believe soon we are going to see Bitcoin hit that 70K level. And eventually we're going to see Bitcoin hit that $100,000 level. And really now just looking for a good entry for a nice swing trade, and we're not going to enter until we get our confirmations. But this is so nice. Is this not beautiful? Man, it would have been so nice to have come down like this, right? That would have been so nice, but that's not what happened. So okay, let's see if we have any more questions in the chat. And guys, if you're interested in learning all this stuff, Fibonacci, support and resistance. Check out the course. This is the outline. If you hit me up in Discord, I'll send you the outline. This is really for people who are newer to trading, where the goal of this course is to give you guys the ability to create your own trading strategy that you can test and be confident in, and you never have to second guess your decisions. You never have to second guess if you're entering into a good trade, because you have a plan that you came up with yourself. You've back tested it. We even will teach you some strategies that you can use that have been already tested, shown to be profitable. Today we're actually going to be talking about, dollar cost averaging in, scaling out, stop losses. We're going to be talking about how to handle yourself in a long-term swing trade so that you can compound your profits and make a lot of money even with lower leverage. If you're interested in that, y'all, there's a link in the description of the video. You can either hit me up in the Discord, or you can even become a Patreon. I have a Patreon now. And if you become a supporter on Patreon, then you can also have access to this course. So there's a few different avenues for that. And also, guys, if you don't have Market Cipher and you want it, I do have a 10% discount. In the description of the video, there is a 10% discount. Again, so that's nice. That's nice. Andrew says, Jay, when you say it may pump in 4 hours and also crypto face, how do you analyze this move being so far in front? What signs am I looking for? Okay, that's a great question, Andrew. So what are we looking for to know if this is going to pump in another few hours? Well, what we're waiting for is we're waiting for the momentum to come down and cool off a little bit. Well, first of all, we're always looking at these higher time frames, right? As long as the 4 hour is still telling us, yes, we're bullish, then we're still looking to enter a long position. How do we know if the 4 hour is telling us if we're bullish or not? Well, if we look at these waves here, we can see that when there's a lot of separation between the light blue and the dark blue, that means we have a lot of power. Okay, that means we have a lot of power. Also the VWAP. When the VWAP is very high above the zero line, that means we have a lot of power. If we see these waves start to come back down and we see the VWAP kind of start to point downward, that means we're getting weak. Okay, and that means we're about to print a red wave, right? Look at what happens historically when we come up here. The waves, they start to close in on each other, and the VWAP starts to point back down. That's a sign of weakness. So as long as the 4 hour is looking strong, then we're going to go to the lower time frames, and we're going to see, okay, when are the lower time frames telling us that we're getting another impulse of, upward momentum? And for me, I like to use the 24-minute if I'm also looking at the 4 hour, but we can go down to the 12-minute and kind of see what's happening here as well, right? We got this little jolt of upward momentum, but now it looks like we're curving back down. That's one of the reasons why I like to use the 4 hour and the 24-minute together, because they have synergistic properties, which is one of the things I talk about a lot in like creating your own strategy. You want to find two time frames that have synergistic properties together, because when the 24-minute confirms bullish and the 4 hour is also bullish, we tend to get some really, really nice price movement upward. But right now we can tell momentum is coming down because we printed a red dot and momentum is just coming down. That's what happens. So when we see that we're printing another green trigger wave here, that's when we would look to enter a long position. So we're basically just looking at our momentum and trying to front run when exactly that momentum is coming. And if we're looking at the 24-minute, we can zoom into the 20, okay, and kind of see what's happening on the lower time frames. On the 18, see what's happening on these lower time frames. And even if we're printing, green trigger waves on like the 18, like we are right here, don't just look at the dot. Look at Market Cipher as a whole. What's happening here? The VWAP is looking not so strong, right? We want to see a powerful upward momentum with the VWAP, with the overall shape of Market Cipher B, the overall shape. We want to see it's like throwing rocks off a building. I always make this analogy as well, but if we can throw a rock off the top of a building, if these momentum waves are building tops, okay, if we throw a rock from here and it lands right here, we might get a little bounce for sure, especially if the 4 hour is confirmed bullish. But if we can throw a rock off here and it comes down, let's say, to here or even lower, well, we'll get even more of a bounce. So basically right now, to find like the best, if we're really going to pump, we want to let this cool off, and hopefully the lower this can come, the better. Now, I don't know how low it's going to come. I don't know. But the lower it can come, the better, for sure. And then we can enter into momentum instead of entering right now where we're kind of in this indecision area, right? We've come up to this resistance, and look at how cleanly we have rejected off of this. Very, very cleanly have rejected off of this resistance. So this is the area that we become very interested in an entry, extremely interested, because we know if we can confirm above this with Market Cipher B momentum in our favor, then we can put a stop loss below here, right below this support, where we are able to risk very little, right? If we're entering here because Market Cipher confirms that we have more upward momentum, we can risk very little, because we know that if price does come back below this daily support after it being resistance for so long, that would invalidate our analysis. That would invalidate the fact that we're going to have more upward momentum. And then, you know, our next daily level would be all the way up here at 61K. Are we going to get there? I don't know. That's why we use intermediate levels as well. Like if we zoom out here, we would have to go pretty far into the past to see where those levels are. In fact, let me go to the 4 hour time frame here. So just looking at the 4 hour time frame, I would, if we do break this resistance here, I would set my first take profit right around 59K, right around here, because this is a 4 hour resistance level. I'll make it purple for 4 hour. And then my second one would be on the 4 hour right here, right at 60. And then you might say that we had a little bit of, yeah, I don't know. Then my final one would be, you know, the 61K level. So if we were to confirm momentum above this resistance line, okay, and that's very important, the confirmation of momentum. We don't just want to trade a breakout, because breakouts could be fake outs. What we want to do is we want to see the breakout of this resistance. We also want to confirm that Market Cipher is telling us we have more upward momentum. We have our entry, which would be somewhere right above this resistance level when price does break out. And really, you know, typically people would want to see price confirm above the previous high, and then we know where our stop loss would be. It would be below this support. And then our first take profit would be right here at 59. Our second take profit would be 60. Our third take profit would be 61. And really, guys, if this does turn out to be a really nice swing entry, this could be a short-term trade that eventually turns into a longer-term trade. It could be a short-term trade that turns into a longer-term trade. So this would be a plan, a strategy that you could use in order to enter a nice day trade, right? Like however long this would last. And then it would turn into perhaps even a swing trade, because our daily is confirmed bullish. And, you know, historically we know what happens when the daily, not only is the daily giving us a green wave on the bottom here, but it's also come up above the 21 EMA and actually got a very clean bounce off. So these are bullish things, guys, bullish things. Let's get into the chat. Shout out to all 351 people who liked the video. Shout out to all 300 people who did not like the video. I love everyone who didn't like the video. But I have to say, guys, have you seen the Jason Casper like button chart? It speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. FOMO into the like button, y'all. Shout out to Pat Burns, who entered a 50K trade at 10x leverage. He says my strategies helped him do that. Shout out to you. Appreciate it. Philip M wants to know my target re-entry price. All right, let's get into that. As far as target re-entry price goes, I can't really give a price, right? Because what I'm doing is I'm just looking for the momentum. I'm looking for the momentum. The lower, the better, right? The lower that this can bleed down, the better. This is our second rejection off of this daily resistance level, okay? This is the second time that we've gotten rejected. Obviously, the lower the better, right? Because if price is going to continue upward, we want the price to come lower, right? We want the price to come closer to this moving average right here. Because right now things are looking a little bit overextended on the 24-minute. And what I mean by overextended is, the moving averages will always come to the price action, right? And when things get really separated, when price action gets really far away from the moving averages, it means we're a little bit overextended in that direction and things need to cool off a little bit. It doesn't mean that the move is over. Like, here's a great example, right? We came below this resistance. Well, it was a support. Moving averages cross and we come down, right? We come down to this support. When we come down to this support, we kind of find support, right? What a thing. Support at support. And you can see we kind of like have this consolidation area. The moving averages need to come back to the price action. And then we do get a little bit more of a downward movement. But the more things can cool off, the better it would be for a potential long entry. That's just the way it is. When we have huge pumps like this, it's never a great time to enter into a long. Because let's just take a look at pumps in the past pumps, where the moving averages get so separated like that. The last one I can think of was a few weeks ago. Let's see. When did that happen? Oh, this is all the way back in February. Yeah, here's where it happened. Here's where it happened. We had this huge pump, right? We had a huge pump right here. We consolidated around this resistance, and then we got another pump, but then things started to fizzle out a little bit, right? The price needs to come back to the moving averages. And honestly, guys, this is something that we would be wanting to see, right? Where we had the direction on Market Cipher B. We had a money flow crossover. We had a huge pump. Now we're printing a red wave. And, if we could see it come back down, even this low, that would make for a great second entry. So I'm not really looking for an exact entry price as much as I'm just looking for momentum to cool down and then confirm bullish again in the direction that I want price to go. If I'm looking for a long. And of course, I am looking for a long right now because of this 4-hour momentum on Market Cipher B. This is clearly telling us we should be looking for a long. Money flow has just crossed into the green, and we have this very bullish momentum. But that's why we need to keep our eyes on things, because if we see that the 4 hours starting to cross back down, right? If we're seeing something like this, where the waves, instead of being so separated, they're getting close to each other, then, be a little bit more careful. Catherine Hepler says, I've learned so much from you in the past couple of weeks. Which course do you recommend for beginners? Shout out to you. Shout out to Andrew Sykes for the super chat. Well, honestly, guys, obviously I have a course, so I would say, check out my course. And I do believe that my course is great if you're using Market Cipher, okay? This course is specifically targeted for people who are using Market Cipher, because the thrust of it is to develop a strategy using Market Cipher in order to basically win your trades, right? Because I use Market Cipher as my primary indicator, And what I've done is I've come up with different strategies where I know I've tested them. Okay, I'm going to win 8 out of 10 trades. I'm going to win 80 out of 100 trades. So even if I'm on a 20 trade losing streak, I still know the big picture I'm going to be profitable. But really, if you've been watching my content and you have a pretty good handle on Market Cipher, you feel, and really any basic trading course will do, right? Because really in the beginning of the course, I'm just going over the most basic technical analysis, which you can learn from any trading course, right? I mean, and honestly, guys, I'm still taking trading courses. I'm still reading and learning. Everybody should always be reading and learning. So I've taken a lot of courses in my day. I have a lot of experience with stocks, with Forex. I have a lot of different perspectives on things. Obviously I would recommend my course because it's mine, right? But you don't have to take my course. Just take any course. Take any course. Moonwolf says, Jason, cup and handle in the 4-hour chart. Let's take a look at that. We're currently at the neckline. Interesting. Check this out, guys. Perhaps you could say this is a cup and handle here. Perhaps. Is this what you're talking about? I mean, it could be. It could be, and if that's true, it would be nice if we came down a little bit before we got that blast off. That way we could get a really nice entry, I guess. But couldn't you also say that this was a cup and handle as well that already broke out? Maybe not, because the neckline wasn't perfect here, unless we made this the neckline. Yeah, I don't know. It could be. Maybe, does anyone see the pencil and neck pattern forming here? The pencil and neck pattern. Let me draw that for you. We got our pencil coming down right here, okay? And then we have the neck coming up right here. And, yeah, usually whenever we print a pencil and neck, it means that the price is going to do something. It means it's going to do something. It always means, 100% of the time, if we print a pencil and neck pattern, it means the price is either going to go up, go down, or trade sideways. 100% of the time. You can be sure on that. Heaven, Laura says the CME gap is going to be filled. Brian says that my course is money well spent. Shout out to you, Brian. Appreciate that. Moonwolf says we need to ignore the breakout during the weekend where we reached 62K. Yeah, Moonwolf, I I agree with you, man. And like, I hate the fact that we had that breakout. I really do. Because what I was expecting. What I was expecting, Moonwolf, is exactly what you're talking about, right? I was talking about on my channel, we're forming the cup and handle. The Friday before we broke out, we were right here, and I said, all right, I would love to see us come down to this juicy daily level right here, and then get the breakout. So, are you saying, Moonwolf, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I just want to know, what are you thinking here? Are you thinking that we have something like this where if we ignore that weekend pump, then we actually did come back down, and now we're about to break, and we're about to break out of the neckline of this cup and handle? Is that what you are hypothesizing here, man? Moonwolf, if you are indeed a man, if you are a woe man, then I apologize. But I'm curious to know, Moonwolf, what is your thought? Tag me in the chat so I can see your thing. Yeah, Heaven Laura brings up a good point. Yeah, keep learning, stop relying on everyone else. That's the thing, like when you're trading, guys, it's really hard to rely on other people. Like if you're just like waiting for like CryptoFace to go live, or you're waiting for Carl from the Moon to do an emergency, or MM Crypto, You don't get me wrong, like you can get in some good trades with those guys, like seriously. But here's the thing: you're gonna end up like a slave to YouTube alerts, and also you're not really confident when you're entering these trades, right? You're like, well, I guess if they say so or if they're doing it, then maybe I should do it. And you don't have a plan for it. You don't have your entry planned out. You don't have your stop loss planned out. Like right here, right? I have a potential trade entry. I have a plan. I say if momentum continues in my favor, I'm going to enter right here. I know where my stop loss is going to be. I know where my 3 take profits are going to be. Okay? I have a plan. And in this plan is included risk management. I know how much I'm going to risk. Okay? And we're going to get into that in the course too, but let's even say I have my entire account on this trade, right? I'm only risking less than 1% of my whole account. Okay, if I lose less than 1% of my whole account and I've backtested my strategy and I know I'm going to win, let's say, even only 7 out of 10 trades or 75 out of 100 trades, I still know that I'm going to be profitable. I'm going to be successful. Even if I get this loss, it's not a big deal. But potentially I could gain, a nice almost 5% on my whole account just by entering this trade. Also, I know in the back of my mind that the daily is bullish, the 4-hour is bullish, and this could be a great opportunity to enter a swing long. But also, I don't want to just enter that. I don't want to just enter. I want to wait for all my confirmations. I have the CME gap in the back of my mind. I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want to just go based off support and resistance alone. I want to go off Market Cipher as well. Let's see if Moonwolf. Yes, Jason, that is exactly what I am thinking. We are forming the handle right now, waiting for the breakout above the neckline. So, guys, Moonwolf in here, whose profile picture is the Bitcoin rocket ship. Okay, we don't know anything about Moonwolf, but we do know his picture is a Bitcoin rocket ship, and here's what he is seeing. Shout out to Moonwolf. If this is indeed true, then it's pretty cool to see. He sees the cup and handle like this, and basically he's ignoring the weekend pump, okay, and is saying that we basically have come back down to form the handle, and now we're back at the neckline right here. And he's waiting for the breakout above this neckline, and that's a very valid hypothesis, right? A very valid hypothesis. It could very well be, and if that is indeed the case, then we could set our take profit pretty high, like the 70K level, which makes a lot of sense because that honestly, that is the next target, right? That's the next fib target. That's CryptoFace's spider line target, if I am not mistaken. And I don't know if you guys saw, but CryptoFace, he basically gave me a personal lesson on spider lines on his live stream the other day, which was pretty cool because I had a hard time understanding it. But I am studying that now, and I'm going to start incorporating that into my TA because it's just undeniable that those lines are respected. They're respected. And historically, I'm a big fan of horizontal support and resistances, but these spider lines, they intrigue me. Okay. Super googly. Emergency today for the Bitcoin price. Yes. Those are some good. Okay, Progressive Martian. Hey, Jason, I've asked you questions on almost every live stream, and you have never answered. Sorry, Progressive Martian. Sorry, bro. I am so sorry. I do apologize to you. If you want to send me an email, if any of you guys want to reach me, join the free Discord and just send me a message, guys. That's honestly the best place to reach me is on the free Discord. Send me a message. I try to respond to everybody on there. It might take me a while, but I will respond. Okay. Progressive Martian. When I close a trade market, it closes in chunks, charging me the fee many times, plus trade fees. Wow. That's strange. That is strange. You're closing market and not, because I know if you close limit and you don't click post only, then that can happen. But I'm surprised that that's happening market. I don't really know why. I would have to look into that and get back to you. Hit me up, Progressive Martian, in the Discord. I will look into that and let you know if I can find any good information. But I would recommend going to the Bybit website. They do have a lot of information on there, specifically regarding fees. In fact, let me see if I can find it here. You guys like this thumbnail I made in GIMP? Man, what a great thumbnail creator I am. Actually, I'm not, and I didn't even make this thumbnail. Somebody sent it to me. But let me just see what's going on in here. Let me take a look. I know I just I don't know if I have it. The outline for the course, what am I trying to say? The session we just did on Thursday goes into Bybit fees, and there's a lot of resources in there to the actual Bybit website. Where's the video for the 15-minute Market Cipher SR entries? Yeah, Martin Corey wants to know. I have a nice strategy called the Crosswalk. Okay, the Crosswalk Strategy, guys, for these amazing entries. I'm not even kidding you. I've been backtesting the Crosswalk Strategy. Okay, and it's golden, guys. It's golden. I talked about it in a live stream recently. I'm going to be doing more material on it, but honestly, guys, in the course, I do go over that in detail, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. The hardest part is setting alerts for it. But if you happen to see that crosswalk happen, man, the pumps, I'm telling you, are amazing. Let me see if I can come in here and turn on Market Cipher SR real quick and see. I mean, we could have gotten in this trade using the Crosswalk strat. we could have gotten this pump, guys. Not the whole pump, actually, not the whole pump, but we could have gotten a significant chunk of the pump right here. We could have gotten a nice 2.2% using the Crosswalk strategy, and the Crosswalk strategy, guys. It's good for those shorter term time frames, right? It's good for those shorter term time frames. It's not like the 4-hour, 24-minute strategy, but yeah, that will really. That's been changing things up for me, guys. That has really been changing things up for me. So, basically, the Crosswalk strategy, to make a long story short, is you're going to turn on Market Cipher SR. And guys, hang on. I have a little emergency here on the homestead. Give me 30 seconds, and then I'm going to tell you about the Crosswalk strategy. But make sure to FOMO into the like button if you want to hear the Crosswalk strategy. All right, y'all. I'm sorry about that. We've had some issues with our chickens lately. We've had some falcons trying to get our chickens. We don't like that. We don't like that. Okay, let's talk about the Crosswalk strategy. The crosswalk strategy, guys, is where we are looking for, well, first we need to mark out our daily support and resistance levels and sub-levels. And our sub-levels, meaning, if you're trading, let's say on the 15-minute time frame, you want to mark out levels of support and resistance on the 15-minute time frame. So, we probably would have put one somewhere right around here. And honestly, all right, let me slow down a little bit. What you want to do is you want to do your top-down analysis. You want to mark out your daily levels. You want to mark out your 4-hour levels, maybe even mark out your 1-hour levels. And that's really all you need to do. Then you're going to go down to the 15-minute time frame, and you're going to wait for price to come to one of these levels. The higher the time frame, the better. So a daily support, a daily resistance, those are going to be your best entries. And what you're going to do is you're going to wait for price to come above the VWAP on Market Cipher SR, and you're going to wait for it to come above a resistance. Okay, this is if you're looking for a long. And then as soon as you see money flow cross, okay, as soon as you see money flow cross, that would be your entry. And you can get some really, really awesome entries this way. Those are your 3 confirmations. Break above a resistance or below a support, cross above or below the VWAP, and then money flow cross on Market Cipher B. So let's just like right here, right? What happens? We come below the VWAP and this daily support, and immediately at the same exact time when we do this, we have just had a money flow crossover. Boom, we come down. We come down, and how we set our take profits is we just look for the last support or resistance level. There's a few different ways to do it. You could do it by hand. That's very good. Another way to do it is the Agora algo is something I use also sometimes. It will mark out those levels for you to help you get in quicker. But check out this, guys. Check out this. We had the price come above resistance, cross above the VWAP right here, and at the same time, whoa baby, at the same time we had this money flow cross, and look at this. Whew, a crazy move up. And I don't have all my levels marked here, but we would have had sub levels in between here. We would have had different take profit levels. Right here we would have had one, because I can see, I'm not really marking these out to be real. I'm just showing you potential take profit levels, and you just go level to level on the way up and take your profits on the way up. And stop loss is always really easy. You would put it below the support and the below the support and the VWAP, and you have to use your discretion as well. You don't just want to put it real tight below the VWAP. You want to give it some breathing room. So when we come up here, I would probably, to be honest with you, put it below the last swing low and set my take profit high. But you always want to keep the risk to reward ratio pretty good. And I mean, look, here's another one right here. We cross below the support and the VWAP, get a money flow cross, boom, we come down. Right here, we cross below the support and the VWAP, money flow crosses from green into red, boom, we come down right here. Right here, nothing, right? Nothing. And let's take a look actually at what happened here, because this is a good. Let's see. We've been trading sideways on this line here, so yeah, I guess right here, right, would have been a loss using this strategy, because we probably would have seen us come and confirm below the resistance and the VWAP, and we just got a money flow crossover as well. So perhaps you could have entered here and you would have gotten stopped out there. But in general, this works very well, and it works best, okay, when you can see a clear money flow cross, okay. So when they're like small like this, you don't really know what's happening, those are not the best. We want to see clear direction on Market Cipher on the 15-minute as well. Like, obviously, something like this clear direction. I mean, that's what we want to see ideally. But really, we could take off everything except the money flow We could just take off everything on Market Cipher B except the money flow. Let's take it all off. Let's take it all off. Even the WAP. We'll take off the WAP. We'll take off the dots. And here we just have it. Here we just have our naked money flow. And we can just go back historically in time and see right here. Money flow cross, confirm below, huge win. Money flow cross up, confirm above, huge win. Right here, confirm below, huge win. And the good thing about this too is it will keep you out of losing trades, right? Because just because the price is crossing above or below the VWAP doesn't really mean anything. Like, you know, we want to see it. We want to see like right here, right? Money flow cross above the VWAP, above the support. Boom, we come right up. So that's the WAP cross strategy, and I mean, I think it's nice. I think it's nice. And if you guys think it's nice, FOMO into the like button, y'all. FOMO in. Demirez wants to know, important, what happens if we move our stop loss above the entry price? Nothing. Then your stop loss is in profit, and you are guaranteeing a winning trade for yourself, which is great. Which is great. Why did I cock block the Falcon? You know, he wasn't looking for he was not looking for relations with my chickens. He was looking to eat them. He was looking to eat them. My rooster, on the other hand, I have this one rooster, man. He's a rapist, basically. Essentially, he's a rapist. People want to know how to trade in Bybit without so many fees. There's a lot of different ways, guys. I go into it in the course. Gregory, shout out to Gregory, who says I'm humble. I mean, I do want to help people, honestly, guys. I really do. You know, that's why I share like the Crosswalk Strategy with y'all for free. Yeah, Rue Apple says in my video, I guess last night, I said we would go down most likely. Yeah, really, so all I'm doing now, guys, is I'm just literally looking at the chart, and I'm going to trade what the chart tells me. Right now, the chart is telling me that we need to cool off if we are going to continue higher, okay? If we are going to continue higher. We need to do our TA, and then also, more importantly, do what Market Cipher tells us. If it is true, if it is indeed true that we are like what Moonwolf has hypothesized, and myself in the past have hypothesized, that we are entering this cup and handle pattern, right? If we ignore the pump that happened here over the weekend, that we had something like this, and then we came down, and then we came up to the neckline, and now we're back down, forming the handle, potentially waiting a breakout. That's a possibility. Like, there's a lot of possibilities that we can't just know for sure what's going to happen, but what we can do is we can look at Market Cipher, and we can see where the momentum is heading. And if we do see a breakout above a resistance, if we do see a breakout out of a cup and handle or a pencil and neck, then we know which direction to trade it. But we're not going to jump the gun. We're going to wait and see what is Market Cipher telling us. Right now, it's telling us that we need to cool down. We need to cool down. And once we see more upward momentum, then we can enter. Then we can enter. And we'll really have to wait and see what happens. Let's take a look at the 1 hourly. The 1 hourly, guys, is looking like it's about to curve down and cross. And if that happens, okay, then, you know, then we know we need to wait. We need to wait a little bit, because we would want to see this kind of cool off before shooting upwards. Right? We never want to FOMO in at the top of a pump. We never want to. We always want to relax, look at our charts, come up with a good entry plan. And I think in this video, if you go back and just kind of watch the stream, I've gone over my plan for this. Yeah, shout out to Coco, who's getting a level 2 VIP membership in my Patreon. Guys, I do have a Patreon now. If you want to support the channel, you can go over there. I do have different tiers as well, so the lowest one is just like, you can just support me Then the next one up, you get access to the course. Then the next one up, you get access to the course as well as my trades, my swing trade entries, my stop loss, take profit, all that, as well as my shorter term scalp trade entries, my entry, my stop loss, my take profit, and all that. And King Jan, he was looking for a cock, right? Because it's a rooster. That's punny, man. That is punny. Shout out to King Jan. Padoom, padoom. Shout out to the 160 people who did not like the video. I love you guys, and if you had a video, I would like it. What's up, Sam Jackson? Yeah, Rue Monkey. Okay, so we talked on Discord, bro. You should have already been added to the Discord by joining the Patreon automatically. But let me reach out to you, man. I'll write your name down, Rue Monkey, and I'm going to pursue this because I want to make sure everything's cool. Just wrote it down here. Premier Crypto, if we took the course, can we level up in Patreon? That's a great idea, Premier Crypto, for people who are OG in the course. Yeah, I think I should do something like that. I think I should. Muhammad, go rewatch the stream, man. I talk about some 15-minute trades. Yeah, Dave is waiting for the market to cool down and hopefully enter. That's great. If you think we're going to continue to go up and Market Cipher is telling us, then yeah. Guys, if you're interested in the course, join my Discord, hit me up in there, send me a message, or shoot me an email. I can give you details if you need details. My email in the description of the video, Discord in the description of the video. What else? Patreon link in the description of the video. If you have a question, hit me up. Discord is the best. Like any question about trading, TA, I will do my best to answer you. I might not answer in time because I am a busy guy, and if it's like urgent, like what do you think about this thing that's happening right now, I might not answer in time. I might though. I might. Sometimes if you just get me at the right time, I can answer. Let's see. Okay, people are asking why I used the 24-minute. If you're new to the channel, check out this video. If you go to my channel and you go to Market Cipher Tutorials, okay, my channel, playlists, Market Cipher Tutorials, click this vid, and this will tell you why I use the 24-minute time frame, guys. And I have a lot of... right here, the 424 Market Cipher trading strategy. This is the video you want to watch, okay? And I have a lot of info in here, guys. This playlist, if you're new to Market Cipher, I recommend watching it. I really do, because it will at least let you know how I use Market Cipher. And I've had a lot of success with it. Where I've been able to come up and backtest strategies that they have a very high win rate. And I basically share the sauce for free in here, right? I share it for free, and if you want to know more, then I do have a course. But the course really, guys, it's for people who are like pretty new to trading, like, because you can't just get Market Cipher and start trading, right? You need to know technical analysis. You need to know how the market works in general. But if you combine basic TA with Market Cipher, I mean, you're golden. You're golden. WordPress website builder. Yep, I missed the pump. I missed it. Yep. Why is monetization off of my videos? Because, guys, I don't like to monetize my videos. I hate ads. I hate them. First of all, when I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm usually doing something else while I'm listening to them, and I hate the ad. I hate it, especially those long ads. And I don't want to put you guys through that, okay? I don't. It's not worth it to me. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of the YouTube platform in general. And yeah, I don't want to monetize my videos. I just don't. I did in the past, back in the day, but I just don't want to. Yeah, I just don't. So, do I talk about risk management in the course? Yes. Yes, I do. I talk about how much of your account you should be risking in every trade. I talk about how to find good entries so that you can practice good risk management, how to use your leverage and your stop loss correctly, because leverage is a tool that you will probably need to use definitely, especially if you're trading on the lower time frames. But, yeah, I go over all that. Okay, Mark Drobes. Mark Drobes, do you have... Okay, send me a message in the Discord, bro. Send me a message, Mark Drobes, because that should have happened automatically through the Discord. But send me a message, bro, and I will get you that access ASAP. Yeah, Peter says to use Brave browser. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, I know I'm using bad browsers right now. I mean, if you're on Google in any way, then you're not private at all. Okay, people want to know about the course. Guys, in the description of this video, okay, if you want to sign up for the course, join my Discord, send me a message for details. You can also subscribe to the course on Patreon. Basically, the difference is, like, on Patreon, you can subscribe and get access to the course. If not, then it would be like a different way to pay for it. What would be a good stop loss to take profit ratio? Well, that really depends on how much of your trade, how much of your account you're putting into the trade, your leverage. It really depends. It doesn't matter the risk to reward ratio as much as it matters how much. First of all, you need to have a strategy that you have back tested and that you know works, okay? You need to have a strategy where you can say, I put in the time and the effort into creating this strategy, and I know that in the past 2 years, right, back testing it this far, in the past 2 years, I have won 75 out of 100 trades, okay? So that's your first step of risk management, is having a strategy that you know works, that you know the majority of the trades you will win. This will prevent you from freaking out over losses, right? Because we're not going to win every trade. We're not. So if you lose, you say, I don't care, because I know, I'm going to win the next one. If you have a 75% win rate and you lose 25 trades in a row, doesn't matter. I know I'm going to win the next 75 trades. It's part of my strategy. It's already factored in these 25 losses. So once you have that down, then what you need to do is simply just look for those good entries where you can set a stop loss that's very tight and responsible. And what I mean by tight and responsible is, if you're entering a trade in no man's land, like in between the daily levels, like right up here, well, the only responsible place to put your stop loss would be still in the same place below the daily level, right? In my mind, because price can retrace and we wick, especially with crypto. But if you can enter really close to the resistance, once it's flipped into support, then okay, if we come back down and price goes below this support, then my trade is invalidated because we're clearly not going to hold this as a support. And so finding the good entries where you're basically looking at Market Cipher when we're coming up to these areas of support and resistance is very key as well. And yeah, so then the third part of risk management is just never risking more. And to be totally honest with you, especially if you're newer to trading, you should not be risking more than 0.5 to 1% of your entire trading account. Okay, so if you're putting 100% of your account on this trade right here, you're only risking 0.74% of your whole trading account. Okay, and I would say, you could move the stop loss if you had to down to 5% if you're using your entire account. Okay, and if you're using leverage, then you need to factor that in too. Okay, but there's different ways to use leverage. You don't just use leverage so you can multiply your whole account by 10 and put a huge trade on. You use leverage so that you can maintain the equity and liquid assets in your account so you can enter more trades and have more playing room. But you need to factor that all in, and guys, we do go over that. in the course, for sure. Shout out to Brad Elkins. Appreciate you being here, man. Moonwolf wants to know if I have a Twitter. Nah, but I should get one. Shout out to Captain Coconuts, who got in at 55,220 using this 4-hour, 24-minute strategy just before the pump. Shout out to you. For level 2 VIP Patreon, do I recommend buying Market Cipher? Yeah, I do. I recommend, well, yeah, I do, because honestly, guys, I use Market Cipher as my primary trade indicator, so it would make sense to have it if you're gonna do that. And Robert says, seems like Bitcoin is cooling off. Yeah, Robert, I do. If you just got in the stream, shout out to Robert, by the way. He's the man. Yeah, basically what I'm waiting for is, are we going to see more upward movement? Well, we're going to have to wait and see. We just need to look at Market Cipher because, prices come up to this very key daily level of resistance. This is a potential trade idea that I have. My stop loss, my take profit levels. If we see that we're getting more upward momentum and things have cooled off, okay? And let's say that on the 24-minute we come down, we print a nice green trigger wave right here with that clear direction upwards, right? That clear direction. Then that's when we would enter. But we need to keep our eyes on the 4-hour as well on these higher time frames, right? Like if the 4-hour starts to look bearish, then we don't want to enter. Okay, so yeah, because we don't know. Remember, the CME gap has not filled. We need to keep that in the back of our minds. We just need to trade what the charts are saying. But right now, clearly, Bitcoin is cooling off. On the lower time frames, we see right here the struggle, right? The struggle on these lower time frames. Whenever we print the green and then the red and then the green and then the red, it means we got the strugs. And look at how nice this daily level is being respected, right? We drew this level because of the price action that was happening back here, right? We come up here, it's resistance, resistance, and now it's resistance again. Is that any surprise, How does my 1 week long look like? Asks Dave. Well, Dave, what I'm really looking for, if I was going to enter a long for like the week, right? And let me show you the last week long that I entered. I entered right around 52K. So where was that? Like right around here. And the reason was because we printed a green dot on the daily time frame. And let me then go to the 4-hour here. I'm sorry. Yeah, let me go to the 4-hour on here. So when we printed this green dot on the daily, what day was that? March 7th. Let's go back to March 7th. Here we are on March 7th. And on March 7th, what happened was we got an initial pump, similar to what we're seeing now, and then we cooled off, okay, a little bit on the 4-hour. And then when we started to print this green dot on the 4-hour, that's where I looked for my entry, okay? And we got in right around 52K, right around this daily level. Market Cipher was in our favor, okay? It was in our favor on the 4-hour, printing this green dot, and so we entered right around here. And then really what we do is we go to our levels, if possible. They might not always be there if we're in new all-time high territory. That's when we do like fib extensions and stuff like that. Whoa, what is going on? Sorry about that, y'all. That's where we do fib extensions and stuff like that. And basically what you do is when you start to get to the top of these momentum waves, you will take a little profit out, and then you will put that profit back in, when we are forming the lows. And if I turn off Market Cipher SR and I put on Market Cipher A and I put on ribbon 5, let's see, ribbon 5. Ribbon 5 is also a great time to add more to your position. Like if you know we're still getting more upward momentum, ribbon 5 is a great place when price comes back down to bounce off of there. If you see it bouncing off, that's a great place to add more as well. So that's kind of how it looks like. Guys, today in the course, I'm actually going to be going into just that in extreme detail about how to be in these long swing trades, how to manage them when you're in the trade. And man, look at Bitcoin cooling off here, guys. This is why it's important not to just FOMO in, because we don't know what's going to happen unless we see Market Cipher telling us. Jagged Mountain. Shout out to Jagged Mountain. Let's see here. Captain Coconuts nailed 3 entries using the 4-hour, 24-minute strategy. I mean, guys, it works. I'm telling you, it works. Yeah, Will S. is already a few hundred up and stop losses in profit, just watching to see when I should throw more in. Yeah, that's the way to trade. Like, once you get in a trade, move your stop loss into profit, take some profit out, and it's a winning trade. You're either going to win or you're going to really win, right? This guy, whose name I cannot pronounce because I don't speak Russian. If this is Russian or Bulgarian, I don't know. I don't know, but he always uses fib levels, and it works for him always. That's great. Fib levels are great. Cool. Mega Skaters, my VWAP line on the Cipher, it's the yellow parts, correct. On Market Cipher B, yes, the VWAP is this yellow line right here. Okay, this is the VWAP. And basically, when it confirms above the 0 line, that means we have upward. When it confirms below the 0 line, that means we have downward momentum. And it works in tandem with these momentum waves. Okay. Joseph wants to know if there's testimonials for my Patreon service. No, it's brand new. In fact, this is like the first live stream I'm ever talking about it. It's totally new, so... Nope, not at all. But I do have a lot of testimonials for my course. And I have a lot of testimonials that my strategies work. Kenny wants to know how much is Market Cipher. It is a it is a lot. But I do have a 10% discount in the description of this video. And if you don't have the money to spend on Market Cipher, I would recommend that you spend your time learning the basics about trading, learn some basic technical analysis and stuff, and get your foot in slowly. If you're new to trading and you don't have the capital to spend on Market Cipher, then maybe, in all due respect, then you probably should not be investing, because it means you need that money. You need that money, and if you're new to trading and you don't even have enough to get Market Cipher, then I wouldn't recommend you start throwing money into these markets if you have not had experience. Okay, that's just my total honest opinion. Curtis Doucette wants to know if I know how CryptoFace draws his spider lines. He gave me... Let's go to his channel here, guys. Let's go to the CryptoFace channel. So the other day, last week, CryptoFace is live right now. Let's see, where was it? I think it was this video right here. He had me on the stream, and he went over... Is this the video? Let me see. I don't know. I'm not sure, but one of these videos he actually had me on the stream and taught me how to draw these spider lines. Was this it? This could have been it. But you could check that out. Let me see. I actually don't know if this is the video. Was it the pencil neck? I don't know, guys. You're gonna have to look at his channel. I think this is it, actually, guys. The Bitcoin short. Yeah, this is it. Yep, this is it, guys, right here, live. I'm in a $2 million Bitcoin short trade. Market Cipher strikes again. He goes over it in detail in this video. So check it out. I'll drop it in the chat. There's the video. Here's the spider line crypto face vid, guys. Shout out to everyone who's in here. Shout out to everybody who FOMO'd into the like button. Divinehood, don't you get experienced by trading live with small amounts? Yes, you do. But Market Cipher is a investment, right? It's an investment, and if you don't have that money up front, I'm just telling people, I would hold off until you had more capital to invest, because although it is a huge tool, I don't want people to spend money that they shouldn't be spending. That's all. Premier Crypto has a testimonial. Here's a testimonial. Follow Jay and listen to what he says. He's by far the most articulate and knowledgeable in the crypto space. Thank you, Premier Crypto. I'm definitely not the most knowledgeable. I am not. That's for sure. But what I do know, I share, and I've had some success with that. Andrew Sykes has turned off his VWAP. Yeah, all you got to do, bro, is come into settings here and turn it on with this check box right here, okay? And you can make it an area. You could make it a line. You could make it crosses. You could do anything you want with it. It's pretty nice. Pretty dang nice, guys. All right. I'm going to have to head out of here. But appreciate all you guys for being here. May the Lord bless all of you. In the name of Jesus, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, b'shem Yeshua HaMashiach, Elohei Israel. May the Lord bless you and keep you. In the name of Jesus, our Messiah, the God of Israel, I pray that all of you guys are blessed. I do pray that. And I will see you guys in the next stream. And if you're in the course, then today we have some pretty cool stuff to go over. All right, peace.